Good morning. Welcome to Kathy Apple's Garden. Today is Monday, April 28th. I'm having my coffee and I'm really just reviewing all of my work this weekend in my front yard um, and just taking it in. So, each morning we have coffee. There's something or some topic that I reflect on, and I try to give a life lesson or share a piece of my life with you in every reflection I have. And so today's reflection is renewal. So this weekend in my yard, in my front, I decided I mowed the yard, edged it up really nice, gave it some fertilizer, pulled a few weeds, remulched my garden beds, pulled up some more of the English ivy. That's a whole other conversation. For those of you who garden on a regular basis, you know the telltale issues of planting mint in your garden, how it just continues. Yeah, I planted English ivy in my bed here in the front because I thought it was cute. Yeah, here we are 2 years later, still pulling up English ivy. But that's another conversation for another day. But my topic today, as I said, is renewal. And so I did the work here in the front. But as I was mulching my garden beds, I I ran out of mulch. So I had to jump in the store, run the loads because I needed a few more bags of mulch. And of course, a true gardener cannot go into Lowe's without perusing the clearance aisles to see, what you might find at a discounted price. And so I found a hydrangea that was, oh my gosh, it was hooked up to life support. It was bad. I'm gonna show a picture here. It was really, really bad. Um, And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna see what I can do with it because I love hydrangeas. As you can see, I have two behind me. That one right there is starting to come into bloom. I have one in my backyard in full bloom. I absolutely adore the look of hydrangeas. And I have an oak leaf hydrangea that's either dead or dormant. I'm still trying to figure out. He doesn't want to wake up, so I might have to work on him. But anywho, um, about the hydrangea, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try to work on it and see if I can bring it back to life. And I know it may take some time. Um, so the first thing I did was when I got it, I said, you know what, let me go ahead and trim off some of these leaves. I know are dead, like they're not going to come back. They're crispy. So once a leaf gets crispy, the chance of it rehydrating and becoming a beautiful green leaf again is very slim. I've never seen it. Maybe some of you have. If you have, let me know below. Um, so I bought some plant food specifically for blooms and flowers. And I came home last night and I started to trim it. I said, you know what? Nope, I stopped trimming and I said, I'm going to just feed it, water it. I have a grow light with dim light that I wanted to give it some light so it could start healing. And I left it overnight. This morning when I woke up, the middle blooms, the middle leaves are all green. They're green, they're standing up, they're perked up. Um, the blooms are starting to regain color. So the healthy parts of the plant is starting to wake back up and become alive. The other parts, I am going to have to help it out and trim it. So my neighbors are coming and going. Trim it so that it doesn't pull from the healthy parts of the plant. But it's all tying into the life lesson for today about renewal, it's never too late to change or redo or renew you. Just like the plant. Now, there was some parts of the plant that was beyond renewal. That's a different conversation. But in most instances, when we look at our lives and we look at the decisions we make, a lot of us make decisions that we're not proud of. Some of us make decisions that we regret, not necessarily that, are embarrassing or you're not proud of, but maybe you've made a decision that you look back and say, you know what, I probably should have done that. I probably should have gone and taken that job. I probably should have gone to school when I had the chance. I probably should have moved to that other state where that job was being offered to me, or my family member was offering me to move somewhere else. I probably should have. And one of the things that I always have a conversation with my daughter Sharia, she's my ace. Like, me and her are like this. And, when she's having those conversations or things are not going right for her, I always tell her, okay, because my daughter, sometimes she can be emotional. She calls and she's crying and things are not going well for her. And she is hyperventilating and, oh my God, and this is going wrong. And I don't know. And this, and I just sit and listen and let her get it out. And then my response to her is, okay, tell me what needs to happen, by when, and what is the solution? That's always my response. And I know it irritates her because she wants me to be in the emotion with her. And I'm 50 years old. Well, I'll be 50 in October. I don't have the energy for the extra emotion. I just don't. And it's not just towards her, it's in life, period. I've learned, side note, with the type of work that I do, I have a lot of responsibility at work, managing projects, managing regulatory compliance things that pertain to the FCC, managing direct reports. Yeah, I have a lot going on up here. So I tend to compartmentalize and prioritize things in my mind. And unfortunately, high emotion is not one of the things that reside and takes up a lot of space. That might sound bad, but it's my reality. It's who I am. But anywho, I have the conversation with her when she's high emotional, and I say, hey, what's the resolution? It's crying. It's not going to get us anywhere. It's just going to make you feel like you're doing something for the time being. But what's the resolution? How do we get from point A to point B? And how does that tie into our topic today of renewal? It ties in because that's the same premise when it comes to renewal. When I saw that hydrangea plant, I looked at it and I walked past it and I came back to it. And mind you, it was in the evening. So quite a few people have probably passed that hydrangea plant and said, no, they're not putting in the effort. So I looked at it and I said, what would it take? I assessed it. What would it take to renew? What would it take to bring it back? What would I have to remove? What would I have to add in? How would I have to shift its environment? Right? All of these things, they all have to, it's almost like you're putting a puzzle together and they all have to come together and align in order for it to be successful. So, wow, I just had a light bulb moment. It's the same thing with you. I don't care if you 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, even 80. If there's something new that you want, you have to sit and assess the situation. What does it take to get there? What will you need to add to your life or the situation? What would you need to remove from your life or situation? How would you need to change your environment? All of these things tie into renewing or even solving something that you want in your life, putting something there that's not there now, or removing something that's there that you no longer want there. It all starts with you. And so this morning's cup of coffee is dedicated to renewal. It's dedicated to you making life choices and decisions that benefit you and me, and not allowing emotion to get the best of you. There is a place for emotion. You need to have feelings. You need to have emotional intelligence. You need all of these things. But when you're attempting to make a move in life, when you're attempting to progress, add a new chapter, turn the page, renew, sometimes you have to set the emotion aside and focus on the tasks that's required to get you where you need to be. So, with that being said, I wish you all a wonderful morning. I am going to actually take you with me right now, and we're going to do a quick tour of what I've done to my lawn. I think my lawn looks really, really good. I'm proud of it. I can't wait for everything else to bloom and start coming in. But yeah, let's go on a quick journey, and then I'll come back and finish my coffee. This is where I started mulching, so I did weed this section as well. And I added my mulch to the front half, as you can see. I have my hostas here, and I planted a few little flowers throughout as well. They're going to be coming up soon. So yeah, I got to add more mulch here in the back. But overall, I think I did a pretty decent job of edging. I got my grass looking absolutely amazing. And then here are some of the flowers that I have on my front porch. And here's the hydrangea. As you can see, it's still this here. Yeah, I would definitely need to cut that off. That's not coming back. But you see these leaves? All these leaves were drooping and curled. These leaves are coming back. So I'm going to let it sit here today and I'm going to see what comes back to life, what perks back up. I don't know if any of the flowers will, but this one looks like it's trying to right there. So I might have to just do some heavy trimming of it once it sits today. And then I'll figure out the next steps. But yeah, this is Merritt's pink hydrangea. And it's supposed to get morning sun. So note to self, it's in the right environment, as we talked about environment. And I'm seeing some more blooms coming here. These are all coming out, so this is going to be beautiful. Always try to deadhead. I just drop them in there. Deadhead your flowers, because if you deadhead them, let's come on out. Then I've been deadheading them like maybe once a week, and that's why I'm getting all these lovely white blooms here. And the same thing for those in the back. Let's check the ones on the other side. And let's see, like this one, deadhead, pull it on off. I'll just toss it down in there. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Anything that's brown and not fully bloom, like this, pull it. See, once I deadhead that one, now these two are gonna, all the energy will go there into those down there and they'll start growing. Same thing here. And then for the white flower, all these blooms are getting ready to come in. So, cool. All right. That's our work for today.